organizing committee for the Poor People's Campaign. He's going to say a few words, and Tana Fogel is also going to say a few words.
She's way over there.
And she's all the way, Tana, we need you up here, girl. And then after that, I think we're going to get a game of dodgeball started if you're interested in that. All right. So we'll let Arnold go first.
Thank you all for being here. It's always an honor to do anything that's related to the Poor People's Campaign. So I want to do a couple of things. One is say a little bit about what the Poor People's Campaign is about for those of you to whom this is new and you may not know anything about it. This is a bit of a revival of a movement that was started by Martin Luther King Jr. in the late 60s. King traveled the country in 67, 68, talking to poor, working class, whites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and was planning to have a march on Washington in the summer of 68, like he did in the summer of 63, but this would be against poverty. But unfortunately, before he got fully organized, his life was taken. And I believe it was taken because of the Poor People's Campaign, because once you're able to unite the people, working class people, across racial lines, and bring down those racial barriers, things will have to change. So I'm convinced this is why they took King out. He's not the only leader we've lost once they began to mobilize people across races. The United States is in a strange place right now. We're in a position of becoming the richest country and the poorest country in the world at the same time. Because almost half of our population is now in poverty or low income. And of course we know that 1% of the population owns almost all of the resources. There's no way to justify that kind of inequality. So this is what the Poor People's Campaign is about, and we're not going to stop until things change. We've been organized. We're in, I think, about 44 states now, and we've got events going in 44 states. During the summer, we meet in Washington, D.C. for a big event there, and we would love to have you support us and help us out. Also, before we leave, I have a petition here, and I would love for everybody to sign it if you're voting age. Everybody to please sign it. It is to restore voting rights to former felons. Again, it doesn't make sense that people who serve their time, they come out of jail, out of prison, they have to pay taxes. So by the fact that they're paying taxes, they're recognized as citizens, but they don't have the right to vote. We are one of 2 states left. All states have given felons their right to vote back, except for Iowa and Kentucky. Shame on us. Right? So please make sure you sign this petition before we leave. I think that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to turn it over to Tana.
Hi, I'm Tana Fogel out of Lexington, Kentucky. What a pleasure it is to drive up 75. Do y'all ever stop doing construction? My goodness. Somebody's getting a kickback, because there's no way this road keeps on every year. They got to pave the same old thing. Either they using some terrible asphalt, or their cousins got a company that keeps working on 75. But it's a pleasure to be here. I am so glad that Pastor Tracy and Northern Kentucky's Poor People's Campaign invited us to come up to say a few words. I am one of those impacted people. I served a 10-year prison sentence. I'm a mother of 2, a grandmother of 11. Yep, that's what I said, 11. I feel it every day. And so, but back in 91, I broke the law and I was punished. But who was to tell me that I would be punished for the rest of my life? And when I got out of prison, they said, get a job, pay your taxes, keep your family together. They gave us all kind of stipulations. And I'm doing that. I'm doing the deal. But I learned that I couldn't vote. Y'all know the vote is more powerful than the gun? Because without the vote, it kills things too. That means that when city council meets, and what they usually do, they meet while poor people are at work, and so they decide for us. But if we get out, and we sign petitions, and we register to vote, is everybody here registered to vote? I want to take away a stigma for you. Most people of color that look like me say, I'm not going to register because I don't want to sit on the jury pool. Do you know that if you get Social Security, driver's license, KTAP, SNAP, they already got your information. They draw the jury pool from all kinds of sources. It's not just voting. So I want to just take that fear away. But what we have to do is we got to get to the ballot box. I'm going to give you a figure right now, everybody. 312,000. Can I say it again? 312,000 Kentuckians do not have the right to vote. That's how it's over 312,000 because the League of Women Voters did those numbers like 4 years ago. And like he said, Kentucky and Iowa are the only two states that does not restore the right to vote once you complete your sentence. Once you come out, wasn't it enough that we had to leave our kids and we paid our dues? We did what the judge said. We walked that time off in prison. And then to come back in society and not be whole, well, that's what the Northern Kentucky Poor People's Campaign will help you do and help your neighbors to do. I want to put a charge out to each and every one of y'all. I want you to tell your neighbor, 10 of them, you ride the bus with them, you go and research with them. Y'all know, if you don't go to research, they're going to snatch your benefits. You pay your bills with them. You go to church with them. Can y'all spread this word that people should sign a petition? People should get involved in housing. Don't let these slumlords. Now I remember when the projects used to be right there. Come on. I went to 9th Street Baptist Church with Reverend Fowler. I was at the Dismas, not Dismas, I was at the Rap House. That's where I served my time out at. And I went to that church right there. And plenty of kids was playing right here. Now, are those affordable housing? Did y'all get to move back in? Okay, you know what? We need a movement. And Pastor Tracy and the rest of the movement women here will help y'all do that. Don't leave them. When y'all hear that something is happening in Northern Kentucky, Debbie, put your hands together for Debbie. Man, she's super too. When y'all hear something is happening, please show up and tell other people. And then ask them, do y'all need us to pass out some flyers? Do you need me to take them to church? And let other people know? So Debbie's going to leave her contact information. I'm sure it's here somewhere. It's a pleasure to be here. Y'all eat, drink, and I'm ready. Okay? I came all the way up here to throw down.
Okay, so one thing we like to do in the Poor People's Campaign is sing. So we're going to sing a song. Arnold Farr is going to lead us with that. Then we're going to have some birthday cake because it's also Joe Gallenstein's birthday. Yes, it is. Mr. Boogie Joe. And then after that, we'll get our game started. Okay.
Joe, I've been with you all day and I didn't even know it was your birthday.
So we're gonna sing one song. Singing is very important to the movement. We sing a lot, and especially last year, spring of last year, when we were going to Frankfurt every Monday for 6 weeks, engaging in civil disobedience. It kind of helps to sing when you're thinking you might get arrested in a few moments, especially the night that we occupied the Capitol Rotunda. But singing is important for the movement. Singing keeps us focused. It expresses solidarity. It keeps us motivated. And it allows our oppressors to know that we mean business and we're not going anywhere. So I'm going to sing an old song from movements years ago that we still sing today. Most of you probably know this already. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. Fighting for freedom. Fighting for freedom. We shall not be moved. Fighting for freedom. We shall not be moved. Oh, like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Fighting for justice. Fighting for justice, we shall not be moved. We are fighting for justice. We shall not be, oh, like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We mean that. Thank you.
Just go again.